Moving on, child maltreatment is the abuse and neglect that occurs to children under 18 years of age. It includes all types of physical and emotional ill treatment, sexual abuse, neglect, negligence, and commercial, which results in potential harm to the child's health, survival, development, or dignity in the context of a relationship of responsibility, trust, or power. Several risk factors for child maltreatment have been identified, but not all risk factors are present in all social and cultural contexts. Our correspondent, Goswill Lado, has more.
Research have it that 199,000 children experience some types of abuse every year. Child abuse is a form of maltreatment by an older person which is violent for the child. It occurs to children under the age of 18 years.
Child abuse is any form of maltreatment by an adult melted on a child, which will end up affecting that child negatively.
Child abuse is a process or activities done against child that limit his training and habits in the society, that hamper his or her growth and his input while he or she is growing up for betterment of the society and to contribute largely for positive impact to himself or herself and the society.
The effect of child abuse can't be overemphasized, as the stress it causes leads to disruption in early brain development, which can result to depression, heart disease, high risk of sexual behavior.
The first effect is the inability of the child to relate very well in the society. That's one of it. Number two, there will be this inferiority complex in the child that is obviously abused while he or she is growing up. And I like to say this at this point. A child that is abused will see abuse as a lifestyle and as habit to live by, which means when you see people in the society that constitute nuisance, you see them as riffraff, hooligans and all those things, they don't see it as absurd conduct. They don't see it as habits or attitudes that are not acceptable in the society. They see it as normal way of their life. Why? Because they have got used to it.
It does not allow that child to get the right, when you take, it's like taking a right away from the child. So emotionally it will affect the way the outlook of that child towards issues, the way he or she will relate with peers, who are coming from a section where the parents allow them to grow freely. Well, it does not mean that you should take discipline away from a child, but when it's to the extreme, it will affect that child negatively. So it will affect the physical, emotional, and probably psychological growth from that child. So emotionally, the child will manifest fears. He will not be able to attain, express himself where he should. So this will end up affecting that child negatively. And once that child is affected, it affects the family unit, it affects the way he or she relates with peers, it affects the society at large as well.
Physical, emotional, and psychological problems, amongst others, are in relation to the implication of child abuse, which result to the children having low self-esteem and distrust to those who are meant to keep them safe.
First place where education, learning, and teaching takes place is the family, is the home. So the parents, they need to know what parenting entails. I think that is where child abuse starts from, and we need to go back to the place, trace it back, and check what are the things that are being done there that is limiting them or that is affecting the children there.
So educating the child, educating the parents of the child that abuse is not very good, and it's something that we should try and avoid in
children. Then advocacy. Let's make some noise about it. Let's let policymakers come in and see how they can come in to help children generally against any form of abuse.
However, parents, being the first teachers, should make it a priority to spend time and educate the children on the challenges of childhood and to help the victims of child abuse. They should be accepted with open arms as they are permitted to express their feelings. Parents should pay attention and never blame them. In relation to the causes, it is highly important that the government supports organizations in carrying out the action plan of campaigns against child abuse. Godswill Lado reporting for KAFTAN TV News.